Hey everybody and welcome. So I want to make a video showing you guys my setup. And you're probably wondering, if I was going to use Project Station, for instance, to do uploads and everything like that, and post videos and whatnot, how would I do that? I mean, a phone, you can do that, and a lot of people know how to do that. But for my case, if I wanted to use a computer without a computer, how I would do that? Well, that's pretty simple, self-explanatory. It's with this setup. And technically, I actually have everything plugged into one device right now, which theoretically this would technically be the same setup if I had my Project Station setup, except maybe a few other things plugged into maybe another device. But here is my setup for my Samsung DeX mode. And this is how I do like posting like uploading stuff for like images, doing streams, and writing my stories, chat like that, or playing some Android games. But here is my little computer ability. So let me turn this off. This is running on a phone. This is no joke. This is running on a phone right now. I can do everything. So here's my mouse. This is Evacuous. This is Edge. This is Samsung Internet Browser. This is Opera. All these are running at the exact same time on one system. And you can tell it's a phone because of this area right here. This is full Android. This is not half Android or such and such. And that is running on this little guy. Yeah, my desk is a little dirty, so. And these are pelt coolers. This is a 9 watt pelt cooler. It's running on max at the moment. Doesn't really need it to cool so much, whatnot. And then this one is about a 27 watt down here, but it's running at like auto mode. So it's running at super low power right now. But when I run Path of Titans, for instance, I turn these on pretty much max or such forth, and then I put a Black Shark Pro 5 over here and run that. That's pretty maxed out, and this thing is super chill, like beans to the chill point. And when I mean chill, think of it, when you're running a normal phone, you're gonna go like maybe 38, 39 Celsius. Take off that by 10. Yeah, 28 to 26 Celsius. Maybe even more, depending on such. And that's running at max frames. I'm not running 30 frames per second. 30 frames, such forth, with low graphics settings. Every freaking thing is maxed out. All animations, all effects, all this, blah, 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 blah. Ultra, epic settings, epic all across. And that's running on a phone, okay? Wall streaming. That's wall streaming. 26 to such forth on Celsius. That is wall I'm streaming. That's like, yeah. And where's all that power coming from? Well, I wasn't going to really initialize to use this, but it's actually turning out to be okay. I don't really like that this power bank, for instance, I wouldn't really call it a power station because it's not a power station, is actually pretty good. but it's not a power station because it lacks the pass-through charging ability performance, which means that whatever power is coming in, it just instantly switches all the way over to whatever's going out. So this doesn't do that. But this device that I'll show down here, excuse the excessive wires. Yes, I know. This is a Anker Solix 300 DC, and that is powering literally everything of my entire phone. This bad boy. Yes. So this is powering my screen right here to this Duracell little power thing. That's my fallen. This still works, but it just fell from my bed top. That's the Pro Shark 5. That's 35 watts. And yes, I have long nails. Shut the freak up. This is my Goal Zero 150 that currently is not working, and so is my 400 over here, which is quite dirty. But this Solix 300 DC is literally powering my entire setup. Like, no joke. Well, not just this alone. I actually have another device that is actually powering my phone itself on two components. Let me show you guys. This is a power station. This is Jackery 100 Plus, and this is powering my phone and this pelt. I think this pelt cooler down below. So this is a power station because it actually does have pass-through. So yeah, that's my entire station ability. That's how I do uploads and, you know, whatnot on when I do an upload on YouTube, or sometimes I will stream directly from Screen Ability. That's what I'm doing. You're thinking that, oh, well, that's quite interesting. This is what I would theoretically do if I was in my project station. Project station is a camper trailer that I want to build specifically for my Hyper E-Ride project that is basically going to be an actual tiny house. Now, a lot of people don't seem to understand the logic of what a tiny house is, because I've seen a lot of people use the term tiny house for a variety of things, but a tiny house is basically an actual house that you live full-time in. You're not going to be using it just for camping and all that stuff and, you know, little jazz like this. That's what a real tiny house is. You got plumbing, you got this, you got your electricity, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be living it full-time. 24/7, blah, 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 blah. That's what a real tiny house is. Some people take tiny house and say, oh, well, like a camper trailer or like a tent or something, and say it's a tiny house, or like a little shack and say it's a tiny house. But they don't live in it 24/7. It's like, where's your food? Where's your cookability? Where's this? Blah, blah, blah. Are you going to live in it for such and such? No. I just built it because it's cool. It's like, okay. But no. This would theoretically be a real tiny house, and it's pretty much this is what would be the size of my bed. This is a bunk bed, by the way. If you guys haven't noticed, this is an actual bunk bed that I'm under. And yes, that's a blanket. Yes, I have it kind of cut off so the light doesn't blare in. So it's kind of like being in like a fort for a kid in a sense. I just kind of like it. So it kind of works. This is a bunk bed that has a desk underneath the bunk. So this is a full-size adult. This supports about 400 pounds, and it's a twin bed. And then there's a full-size desk system under the bunk bed. So yeah, shut the freak up if you don't like twin beds. I'm fine with it. So yeah, it does have. There are ones that do have a double bed kind that still do have desk systems, but yeah, I just went with a twin because it's cool. But either way, I know it's kind of small for an adult, but still, it works and it's cool. But this pretty much would be the exact size what a project station would be for the trailer. This would be about 6.5 feet long and maybe about as wide or maybe thinner than that. I don't know. But it basically would be a full-size twin bed inside the trailer ability, which is a bit interesting to fit in, but yeah. And that would have all my equipment. It would have my power station ability. It would have all the lights. For instance, I'll have like Goal Zero, Liar Life minis running across here and there, and they'll be on a switch circuit system. I won't have anything on a digital power system ability because digital means that it's always on, it's always active and waiting for a remote. Same thing like a Tesla, it's always active and it's waiting for initialization. Analog switch means that it's basically a it has a metal to metal contact, and when you have it off, like this for instance, power flow can't go through the entire circuit system. But when it's on, it connects that circuit and actually activates it. A digital circuit on and off system is like this. It's always on, and then there's a passive piece that's always active, but it's waiting for another connection system, and it's saying, am I on? Am I on? Am I on? When it switches, it goes, okay, okay. Now everything's fully activated. That's a digital on and off switching. Not something I want to do. So an analog system is going to be like this. I'll have a bunch of switches, and I'll be like, and it'll turn on my entire system. So all my plugs will be plugged into the power bank system, but because they'll be on a third-party switch system, they won't sense power from one point to another point until I switch them on, and then the power station will go, oh, I sense power needed. Okay, I'm sending power through. So that'll give me flexibility and not have to use any power whatsoever from any devices until I go, and then it turns on. So yeah. So Project Station would basically have my entire setup like this, my home setup ability in Project Station from a cell phone, and I'll have my booster on top of the refability, and that will give me more performance for longer range if needed. All from a cell phone. And if I wanted to get real computer stuff, hopefully, maybe later in the future, I don't know when that'll be, but I'll get Shadow PC or something like that will give me a full-fledged computer from the cloud that hopefully might work better. And that will give me full PC games and all that other stuff right from my phone. I won't need a laptop. I won't need this or this or that. Just need my little phone, and boom, it has everything. So I can be gaming out in the middle of the woods, blasting people on PlanetSide, just from a phone, using standard mouse and keyboard. So yeah, right now that is literally working for my entire phone right now on both of those power banks. So if the power literally shut down right now, I'd still be able to have performance. That's pretty cool. So anyways, that's my setup, and you guys can go, whoa. But my project station setup for having a screen, because I'm not going to be able to have a huge physical 27-inch display right in front of my face, I'm actually wanting to get one of those AR glasses that will be able to allow me to have like a 50-inch display right in front of my face without an actual physical display. That's going to be flipping amazing. Even though I'll look like probably a goofball with, weird glasses on. But it'll give me quite ability. It's not going to give me dual screens, but, can't run dual screens on Samsung DeX at the moment. So yeah. But that'll give me a pretty big display in the trailer without an actual physical display. Pretty neat. But anyways, see you guys later. Peace out.